Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. Welcome to Open. We've got a fantastic show. Coming up on today's show, we'll speak to a research neuroscientist and childhood nutrition expert who will share some tips and innovative nutrition options that are must-buys for any parent with kids heading back to school this fall. Then the founder and artistic director of a nonprofit vocal arts organization will speak about how she is making opera more accessible right here in our neighborhoods. Then after that, we'll check in with a producer and singer and songwriter who will give us a behind-the-scenes look at his latest single. And finally, we'll speak to an educator and founder of an academy who has tips for parents on how they can help their kids have a successful school year. So it's all right here. Sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet. We're wide open. Here we go. Hey, buddy, I'm your host, Doc Bob Lee from BLS. You're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, when it comes to parenting, ensuring your child's nutrition is a top priority. But what do you do when your child's lunchbox returns home untouched? Didn't even open it. We're here to help us with the ultimate guide on conquering this lunchtime challenge by sharing some innovative tips and supplemental choices that can turn lunchtime woes into nutritional wins in the childhood nutrition. All right, so we have the expert, the nutrition expert, Dr. Avena Wilson here with us today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
Oh, thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so you've been around and you know a little something about encouraging our youngsters on how to eat well and how to eat well while in school. Give us some tips.
Yeah, so I can speak to this as a parent as well. I have little ones at home, so I'm packing those lunches, and I can tell you the struggle is real. And so there are things that you can do. And one of the things I often tell parents is to be repetitive. It can take up to 15 times for a child to build an acceptance to a new food. So just because your kid doesn't like a healthy food that you offer them the first time, keep at it, keep trying, keep offering it, because the research tells us that it sometimes can just take a bit of time. Also, I think it's really helpful to incorporate the children into the meal prep. Make them a part of the process. Let them pack the lunch. Let them select what's going to go into it. Let them chop up the fruit or, pick what kind of drink they're going to have. This is going to make it so that they have some skin in the game and then they feel like they're a part of the process and not just being told what to do.
Yeah. So, Mommy, I'm going to prepare my food. Get ready. Here we go. Help me out a little bit. And then you just guide them along the way until they get it themselves. Next thing you know, they're in high school grabbing a sandwich. Let's go. So give us a little background on how you got started with this whole thing.
Well, I've been interested in nutrition for my entire career. Started off looking at how nutrition affects the brain. And so really, one of the things that we've seen emerging over the past, I think, 5 or 10 years has really been the fact that what we eat has a really important impact on not only our physical health, but also our mental health and our brain health too. And so that's really how I got into this and really interested in just helping people to understand that what we eat really plays a big role in all aspects of our life.
And it starts when you starting to think about getting pregnant, right? Because it starts in the womb.
It does, absolutely. And, early life nutrition is critical. And we used to think that meant, get the kids to eat healthy. But we're now finding out that it actually starts even before that. What people eat during pregnancy, what people eat even prior to pregnancy has a lot. So we really do need to be mindful about this. And it's about a lot more than just, staying lean and trim. It's about really promoting health for the next generation.
So if you're thinking about getting pregnant, you should maybe get on a workout plan and make sure you're eating right, because all of this contributes to rearing a healthy child. So,
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So now you have something called Smarty Pants vitamins. Do you take that before you get pregnant, or what?
So Smarty Pants Vitamins is a company that has a variety of different vitamin supplements that are great for all the different stages of life. And prenatal, they also have a kids formula, which is great, especially if you have one of these kids who maybe isn't eating their lunch every day or is being a little bit picky. And it's a great way to fill those nutrient gaps that we're not getting from the foods that we typically eat. Yeah. And, this can happen. Our modern food environment is really, really not all that healthy. We're reliant on processed foods. We're eating fast food a lot. And, with that comes nutrient deficiencies. And so taking a multivitamin like Smarty Pants is a great way to help fill in those gaps.
Yeah. Tell us about your new book.
Yeah, so my new book that has been out for a bit now is called What to Eat When You Want to Get Pregnant. And it's all about nutrition and making sure that you're optimizing your health, both the man and the woman, when it comes time for thinking about having a baby. And I have a new book coming out called Sugarless. It's available for pre-order now. And that's all about how you can beat your addiction to sugar, which I think a lot of people can really resonate with. We have so many people struggling with eating healthy, and eating too much sugar is a big part of that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I know sometimes the craving for sugar and the taste, we're eating for taste instead of nutrition. How can you get something nutritious that tastes well?
Yeah, you hit it on the head. Hedonic eating. That's what a lot of people are doing. They're eating for the pleasure of the food and not necessarily for the nutrition that's associated with the food. So we got to be mindful of that. Make sure we're eating for good fueling nutrition, not because it's going to make us feel good.
Excellent. How common is the issue of uneaten school lunches amongst children? They bring that food right back home. They didn't touch it. What happened there? How common is that?
It's a big issue. And, again, there's actually been studies that have been done in school lunch cafeterias where they look at the amount of waste, and you would be just alarmed if you saw it. It's just really something where, kids are throwing out the food. They're not eating it. And so that's why I think it's so important that we have these conversations with our kids. We get them on board with why it's important to eat healthy. We get them to really take this seriously, because what they eat now matters. It matters for their longevity. It matters for their health later on. And it's important that we get them into a healthy routine so that they don't have problems when they get to be older.
If you don't eat well as a youngster, does it stunt your growth? What does it do? What are some of the complications that can happen?
Yeah, I mean, if you are not eating a healthy diet as a younger person, not only are you setting yourself up for a host of medical complications, but you're also setting your brain up for bad habits, right? Yeah. So if you look at the way you eat when you're a kid, you typically end up eating that way as an adult. And yeah, maybe you can get away with, having a couple of donuts all the time here and there when you're young, but when you get older, it's not so easy to, do that. So it's important to instill those good nutrition habits early in life.
And so the supplements in the book and everything are all on your website, right?
Yep, you can learn more about me on my website, Dr. Nicole Avena. And also, if you want to learn more about Smarty Pants, check out their website, smartypantsvitamins.com. And their products are great. You can find them nationwide. They're available online, and they're also found in retail stores and Amazon.
Dr. Nicole Avena, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break. More Open coming up next.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
Go. Excellent. Yeah, I saw you guys out there.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
And welcome back. Next guest is the founder and artistic director of Morrow Opera and the Morrow Opera Community Chorus. And she joins us to speak about her opera community chorus group and to highlight how she intends on making opera more accessible for young and old alike. Everyone in between, too, right here in the Boogie Down Bronx. So welcome to the show, Cheryl Warfield. Yes. How are you?
I am well, and I'm delighted to be here. Nice to meet you.
Now, we heard a lot about you. We heard that you can sing. We heard that you're the sister of Paul Warfield,
Yes.
a football player, Hall of Famer.
Correct.
Yeah. And you just recently visited, right? I don't want to go off and talk about your brother all the time because it's about you, but you can briefly
Sure.
mention it. Yeah.
Actually, we just celebrated his 40th anniversary of being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And
Alrighty.
so we had a family gathering, and it was just very special. And of course, we're very proud of him. But if I can say, one of the things that brought me here is our hometown, Warren, Ohio, which had wonderful athletic programs, but also phenomenal arts programming. And so it's really important to me now that I'm here in New York to try to help New York have the same.
Great genes in the family, huh?
Well, perhaps, yes. So,
You picked up the vocal part of it.
and also my oldest sister as well. But yes, my father had a beautiful baritone voice and sang in church all the time. And that's where we really got started with singing. And then I actually had a voice teacher from the age of 13 who introduced me to my first operatic aria when I was 15. Won my first competition at 17. And
Do you remember the song that you sang?
absolutely, it's Quando Men Vo from the opera La Bohème. Would you like to hear a little?
I would like to hear how that sounds.
It does have a high note, if you let me continue just a little.
Just go ahead. Ooh, look at them looking from the studio. Look, well, in the balcony up there.
Oh.
Look.
Like at the balcony
Very
of the
good.
Met.
That's right. Very good.
Which
Wow.
it was the Metropolitan Opera that brought me to New York. I came with contract in hand from Columbus, Ohio, where I first began.
Did you have the pen in the other hand?
I definitely was signing in blue and not in red. But my start was through chorus.
Yeah.
Because interestingly enough, my father made me get an accounting degree. And for a long time, I thought I would never really actually be able to follow my passion and my pursuit.
But the accounting degree came in handy, right?
It has come in
You
very
count
handy.
your money now. A
Well,
little bit better.
and also with my not-for-profit organization.
Yeah.
In fact, in getting my very first grant in Ohio,
Yeah.
one of the things they said was I was actually an auditor for the state of Ohio. When they said, well, this organization will be fiscally responsible.
But see, sometimes when we're in school, we don't think that, wow, how am I going to use this when I get out of school?
Exactly.
Is this something that I'm not even, like psychology. Sometimes you think you're not using it, but you are.
That's absolutely
You can put it to
true.
work.
Yes.
So you came to the Bronx, and you're doing some things here. Talk about
Absolutely.
the older adults in the Bronx.
Yes.
You started about 5 years ago working with them?
It was an initiative through the city of New York, Sukasa, administered by the Bronx Opera. I definitely want to do a shout out to them. They do wonderful things here in the Bronx. Emerging artists from around New York come to work there. And Ben Spearman, who's the general director, hired me to start a chorus at the Jazza Van Cortlandt Senior Center.
So this is how you use your experience to in performing arts to do what you do today.
Exactly, and we have such wonderful adults at the Jazza Van Cortlandt Center.
And what is this here?
So, now this is actually at the James Baldwin Outdoor Learning Center, which is an organization that we're partnering with now that's at Sedgwick and Golden. In fact, the market is going on currently every Saturday from 11, I believe, to 3 in the afternoon. And I just performed there this past Saturday. And also the chorus did as well. So we did several numbers with the chorus performing, which was absolutely delightful. And then I asked one of my Morrow opera tenors, Arthur Lay, to join me, and we did some duets of opera, and it was really very exciting.
But wait a minute, when are you doing this again? Because we need to come out and see you.
Well, the next time that we'll be at the James Baldwin Outdoor Learning Center is going to be in October, the last Saturday of October, when they close for the season. And so this will be our second anniversary of closing with them. But the picture that you were showing was actually the Juneteenth program that we did with them. And we've done that now for 2 years as well. And so, but what I really would like to tell you about is what ultimately happened was something that we thought was unfortunate that turned out to be fantastic. And that was that the Jazza Van Cortlandt Center decided not to have chorus anymore. And what that meant was that my seniors had no chance to continue to perform.
So what did you do?
Well, more importantly, I had already scheduled them to sing at the San Gennaro Festival in Manhattan. This was going to be their big break to sing in Manhattan.
Right?
It's coming up again, but they sang last year.
Yeah.
And I needed to get them ready. And it was so amazing that my seniors, some of them actually live in the amalgamated housing, which also has Vladeck Hall, which is actually a lovely auditorium to perform in, and they helped make arrangements for us to have some rehearsals there. And so we were able to still do the performance, and of course they wanted us to be able to continue. And so now I've had an opportunity through my not-for-profit Morrow Opera to partner with AmPark, which is amalgamated. Also, we're now in Riverdale at RSS Senior Center, and most recently I did some programming at Masciolo Montefiore Senior Center.
You guys are moving around.
So, but what was really beautiful about that was that I was able to invite people from all of those different centers to come work together.
Yeah.
And so you had people from Riverdale meeting people from, more of the east side of the Bronx and everything. And yes, actually, this is where that happened. This is actually Vladeck Hall, and we have seniors from different areas, plus a couple of my more opera choristers joined in as well. And what I think is so exciting now is that they actually enjoy having me sing along with them in performance. But really, what is different about my programming is that I train people to perform, to be on stage, and to be ready.
And do you have a lot of people that sound like you, that sing like you, that you have trained?
I have some people who actually do. We have several people and my chorus who also participate in the Lehman College chorus.
Yeah, but you know what? You have to, in order to sound like you have to perfect that voice, but you have to do some things before you sing.
Well, first of all,
like backstage.
Actually,
preparation.
A little bit of backstage preparation, but actually the real preparation is making sure that you take care of yourself. Staying hydrated, getting plenty of sleep. The one thing about singing is that your instrument is in your body. If you're a pianist or another kind of instrumentalist, you can go out and party all night and have and live whatever lifestyle that you want to, and it may catch up with you eventually. But in the beginning, you can still sit down with that instrument, and it's going to do what it's supposed to do.
Right.
If you don't take care of your voice,
even speaking.
Even speaking. So one of the important things is always to try to keep your voice forward, so never in your throat. Okay, and so there's a difference between if I'm speaking like this and I'm speaking like this. Yes, and so and especially if you are tired, because we are all living our lives, and in New York we have very busy lives, and so we don't always get enough sleep. So it's just really important to really concentrate on your voice.
Do you teach people by Zoom? I mean, I know especially with COVID-19 out there, in the past you had to go to Zoom.
That's one of the things that I was very proud of while we were still associated with Jazz in Cortland. Of course, then COVID hit and everything shut down, and I had seniors who were at the center daily. This was a very important part of their lives, and suddenly they were home alone. And so I needed to connect with them. And many of them had never been on Zoom before. Some of them had never turned on a computer before. And we lost half of our seniors who did not do the technology, but we were really able to do some really wonderful performances online.
But you know what? A lot of people had trouble with if you were singing and people were at different places, to sync it up. They found out how to do it later on, though, through Zoom.
You still cannot have two people talking or singing at the same time. And so what we had to do, and I was able to train our seniors to do this, is to self-record. And so they made audio recordings of themselves, which then were compiled, and we put them together, and then through Zoom. And they did a wonderful job. And just look at their faces, and it brings so much joy. It also brought great joy to the audiences listening. But at the same time, this is for everyone. These were the ones who were first, and now I'm able to bring everyone else into the fold as well, and that's been so exciting.
And everyone doesn't have to have a voice that goes up that high. You can have people, to even it out, you need somebody that can sing the lower registers. You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter if you are a beginner, because that's what I'm here for, is to help train you. And I can't begin to tell you the growth that I've seen with so many of our seniors.
Let me help you take some baby steps until you get to where you need to go.
Exactly. And it's empowering for them, and even for me, just because this is what I love most, and to be able to share that with others. And that's actually one of the reasons why I'm here today, is that we are going to have some more programming this fall that will be taking place at Vladek Hall, and we are looking for more singers. And so,
there's a bunch of them right there.
Yes. and well, this was on their way going to San Gennaro Festival last year. And so, and that's at the feast, and that's how many people were listening, and there were even more who could hear it throughout the streets. And so it's really exciting. And so I ask anyone, please, if you are really interested in singing, if you've ever thought, you know, I really would love to sing, and maybe you just didn't get a chance before, now is your chance.
They probably always sang, but it was in the shower and they were afraid to step out.
Exactly. But now you can be on stage. Come join us. We're the More Opera Community Chorus of the Bronx, and we are always rehearsing in zip code 10463, and you can reach me at www.moreopera.com or on social media, More Opera, or if you're old school, may I, 212-252-2512.
Why do they call you the Oprah of opera?
Well, that's a wonderful story. I am a teaching artist, not only of older adults, but also of children. I've been doing that for over 20 years here in the New York City school system. And I had an opportunity to present an opera residency in Crown Heights in Brooklyn. And I asked a young boy to go to the chalkboard to write the word opera.
And he wrote Oprah?
He wrote Oprah. And there was just a minute that our eyes connected, and I realized what he was thinking. And he saw me kind of like Oprah. I've actually been told before, although I don't see it, that there is like some kind of similarity between Oprah and I. I actually had someone come up to me at the grocery store and say, "Oh, you remind me of Oprah." And I only said, "I wish I had her money." And
well, reach out to her. You wanted to help you out with your foundation and everything?
oh, that would be phenomenal.
Reach out, take one of the cameras there and say, Oprah.
Oprah.
You know, we have this foundation.
I am the Oprah of opera, and what that means is, like, you bring information into people's living rooms. I've gone into classrooms and in rehearsal rooms to introduce people to opera, and it's been a joy for me to do that, but it has been so wonderful for the people who I expose to this music. And if there's any way that you can help us amplify what we do, it would be greatly appreciated. But what I can say most of all is that the Bronx, of all 5 boroughs, has done the most to help me amplify my work, and I greatly appreciate that.
Excellent. Where can we, if Oprah is listening to you, where can she send information to? Give us that website and everything again, social media.
It's More Opera, www.moreopera.com. And also at More Opera, hashtag More Opera on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Cheryl Warfield, founder, artistic director, Manhattan Opera Repertory Ensemble. And you can add to it and say,
New York needs more opera.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we'll take a quick break. I've got more coming up next. More coming up next.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Most hiring algorithms would scream me out.
Some bosses couldn't see me as a leader.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
as long as I've been able to reach a keyboard.
This is what I do. It's second nature for me, coordinating 100 details at once.
The way my mind works, I have a very mechanical brain.
I sold them on my skills.
You gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
My magic is
analytics and empathy. That's how I'm getting clients. You have to have the confidence in yourself to show up and defy the odds.
I am more than who I am on paper.
I never got a college degree. And today, I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm one in a million, when actually I'm one of millions. Stars are all around us. It's time for them to shine.
Even though we didn't grow up together, he's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about poor Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug, you know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for ya. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
And welcome back. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You're watching Open. Thanks for hanging out with us. Our next guest is a singer, songwriter, and producer who will speak about his latest projects and reflect on his journey into the music and entertainment business. It's tough sometimes, but you know, when you know what you're doing, it's a lot easier. Please welcome to the show, Judah Michael. Judah, welcome.
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Judah, how tough can this business be?
Man, it's a grueling journey, but it's a good one, man. It's a fun one, but yes, it's definitely a journey. There's lots of ups and downs, but man, you just got to appreciate the whole thing, you know.
How'd you get into it, becoming a producer, songwriter, and singer?
Oh man, well, I think I've been in it as long as I can remember. I've been playing the guitar, piano, drums, everything I could get my hands on since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I started playing up in church. Church was the first place I could get on a stage and perform and play. And then ever since then, I just fell in love with the art of it. And yeah, I'm 23 years old and still doing it. And yeah, it's been amazing.
Who are some of the people that have guided you, or some of the people that you look up to, or who inspired you?
Man, you know, I had to say the first one being my mom. You know, she was a musician as well, and that was the first person who had some instruments that I could get my hands on. So, you know, she taught me everything I know, and yeah. But I mean, I've never had like one specific artist that I've loved. I've just loved every genre of music. I think there's things to be learned from every style, every different genre. So anything that moves my soul, pretty much.
Yeah. But what genre of music are you working in now? Or you just incorporate a lot of the different genres into what you're doing?
Yeah, right now I'm doing primarily pop music, kind of like acoustic pop. Yeah. But I've played everything. I've been in rock bands. I've been in punk pop bands. I've done everything across the board.
Some people compare you to Justin Bieber and Shawn Mendes. How did that happen?
Yeah, I've heard that a couple times. I have no idea. But hey, man, it's good people to be compared to, so I love it. I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah. Maybe do you think about doing some collaborations down the line?
Hey, that'd be awesome. Yes, sir. So right now I'm working on a track. And right now we're kind of in the stages of just reaching out to different artists, and hopefully we'll get a collaboration going soon.
Imagine if you get Justin Bieber or Shawn Mendes.
Hey, that'd be a good one. If they're listening, shout out. Let's do it. Let's work.
Who have been some of your favorite artists as a producer, and some of the projects that you'd like to work with?
Oh man, I think as a producer, Labyrinth is this guy. He's done a lot of soundtracks for TV shows and has his own projects. He's just an interesting guy. I love his process. I love watching him work. Yeah, that'd probably be my top one right now. Man, I mean, hey, Pharrell, if he's listening as well, that's another producer that I'd be honored to work with. Yeah, again, just interesting process, just geniuses.
Yeah, that'll be a wonderful thing. I mean, things work in strange ways. These harmonies come from different ways, not only musically, but relationships.
Oh, yes.
How has spirituality and your faith impacted your life since you're coming from a church background? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Man, that's a good question. That's a deep question. I don't know. I have to say, I mean, even in church, it's always been a good community. There's always been a good community of musicians and people. And a couple of my good friends who have had their own music careers, I met them in church, and they've gone on to do some really amazing things. So it's always given me just a good community of people, a good positive group of people to be doing stuff we love, be working on music and staying on the right track as human beings.
Yeah, good. Well, maybe you're gonna dip into some gospel too. You never know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll get that the new Kanye record, some gospel stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you have an upcoming single project titled "No Friends." What was that process like in putting that all together?
Yeah, so that was an interesting one. That was a song actually written 4 years ago, I think. So it's been kind of on the shelf for a long time, and I actually wrote it as a cut for another artist. So that's another space that I work in, is doing a lot of songwriting and production for other artists. So that was actually intended for somebody else, and then it kind of just sat on the shelf for a long time. Didn't end up getting cut, but a lot of people were still into it, and so we're breathing some new life into it, and I think we're going to try to get a collaboration with maybe another female artist on the track, and should be releasing, hopefully within the next few months. We'll see the new song, No Friends.
Yeah, and are you performing anywhere?
Not currently. I used to perform out a ton before COVID. That was one of my main things is playing out live.
Yeah.
And then COVID came through, and we all know how that impacted. Seeing music live, venues, and ever since then, I've been on a little bit of a hiatus, just working on production and new music. And once this new song releases, I'm sure we'll be playing a bunch live. So we'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah. Anybody you looking to work with in the future or produce for?
Oh man, whoever wants to make good music. Whoever wants to make a good song, good music, and put it out for people to hear, I'm down.
Yeah, beautiful. Hey, what do you tell? There's a lot of people that want to do what we do. They want to learn how to play. They want to record. They want to sing. They want to produce. What advice would you give somebody coming up and they want to get their feet wet about this?
For
business?
Sure. I think the beautiful thing about this business and entertainment in general is you can do it right where you are. I mean, I started recording in my bedroom. I just bought a little recording setup and started to record my own music. And even now, we can put our own music out and millions of people can hear it. We don't need to have big labels and a ton of money to start doing it. You kind of can just do it yourself. And the journey's tough, man. There's a lot of lows, but there's also, the amazing highs, and they keep you motivated. So I'd say just start doing it. You can start exactly where you are, and just go for it. You never know what can happen. And yeah, it's an amazing journey to be on.
I asked a lot of people that question. I even asked LL Cool J his thoughts about that. And he said, just do it. And that's all he said.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all you need. That's all you need. Nike's on board with it too. You just gotta do it.
That's what he said. Just do it. Put your mind to it. Just do it, because your mind will incorporate thousands of ideas to help support what you want to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Great. So I guess we're going to see you somewhere in the future in one of the venues. We can buy some tickets and come down and watch you go to work.
Absolutely. Hey, I love it if you'll be there. I got you. I'll get some backstage passes, some free tickets for you and the squad.
Oh, you don't want to call us backstage. We just it's a whole nother party backstage.
Hey, I'm down for it. I'll be here for it. You guys teach me your ways.
Our producer has a question. What did you say, Steve? Oh, he says if you want to spit 16 or sing something.
Oh boy, I'm not even lying. I'm just getting done having strep. People always use that for an excuse, but I swear this time is true.
It's a real thing, right?
It's a real thing.
Well, that's okay. Where can we go to follow you? You have some things up there we can listen to? Of course, we'll go to YouTube. We'll listen to you sing and watch you perform.
Yes, sir. I was going to give the alternatives. Yeah. You guys can catch me singing on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anything. Judah Michael is the name. You can just look me up on those places. I got tons of videos, tons of covers, and some old music. But like I said, we're getting ready to start putting out all the new stuff, and we're excited to do it.
Yeah. One before you go, how do you feel about 50 years of hip hop? Everybody's celebrating all around the country, all over the world.
Man, it's great. It's always great taking a step back for a second and looking at where we've been. Just musically, it's so interesting to see the progression of music, how it's changed, what it used to look like. I think it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Hey, Judah, thanks so much.
Let's celebrate 50 more years in music. Yes,
50
sir.
more
Thank
years.
you so much for having me.
50 plus years.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
say that next year. 50 plus years.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
Appreciate you. Judah Michael, producer, singer, and songwriter. We'll take a quick break right here. Wait, I've got more coming up next on Open.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
One of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history at Post nightclub in Orlando.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved. If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
I'll see ya.
After a basketball game, a black teenage boy, Brandon, reads his texts in his family group chat. Auntie Flo, congrats on the big win. Mom, that's my baby. Brandon replies, thanks y'all. In a park, his sister Maya texts, where are we celebrating? Dad replies, home. Mom texts, I got dinner going. Auntie Flo replies, ooh, I can't wait. Then receives a FEMA flood watch text alert. She texts the family, anyone see that weather alert? We need a plan to stay safe, especially after last year. Ready has a list of resources at ready.gov/plan. In his workshop, Dad sends a photo of emergency supplies and texts, looks like we need flashlights and batteries. Leaving a store with a shopping bag, Brandon replies, I got us covered. Mom texts, I'll check in with Grandma and Papa. Maya texts, thanks Auntie, feeling good about this plan.
Got some batteries.
Auntie Flo replies, love y'all, we gotta stay safe. Later, the family
Feel like he gets on.
stay connected. Plan for ready.gov/plan.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And welcome back. I'm the Doc Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. Our next guest is an educator, author, and executive director of Dorris Morrow Academy. She joins us to share some tips on how parents can help their kids succeed in the classroom this coming school year. So please welcome to the show, Kimberly A. Morrow. Kimberly, welcome to the show.
Hi, welcome. I see my picture is frozen, but that's okay. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
How are you? Where are you right now?
I am actually in Los Angeles, so I guess we're having internet issues. You know, we have this, it's been downgraded to a tropical depression, but we have this ongoing rain right now, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that the internet is acting a little wonky.
Yeah. Are you getting the flooding over there right now?
Yes, yes. So we have an emergency alert out for us not to leave the house unless it's absolutely necessary. The area that I live in floods
Oh, yeah.
frequently, so I'm definitely not leaving the house.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful out there. They said that area hasn't seen that much rain in, 86 years or something like that? I heard that report.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Wow.
yes, yes, yes.
That means if it's
So
dry, it can't
we're
absorb well, so
staying
it just
safe.
runs off, creates floods. So
Exactly.
tell us
Exactly.
a bit about yourself. You were just teaching us, giving us the weather. Are you thinking about becoming a meteorologist? No, but
I am not.
but tell us about your teaching
No, I am
experience.
not.
What made you want to get involved in teaching?
Oh, so many years ago when I graduated college, I substitute taught for a year.
Yeah.
And as a substitute teacher, I was thrown into many different scenarios. And one was an earth science class, which I had no degree in earth science. My degree was in history. But I went home every day and I taught myself and I came back and I taught the students. And I thought, I can do this. I want to do this. And so that was the birth of my teaching career.
Hmm.
It began as a substitute teacher,
So then you went back to school, and how
and
did it
then I
work from
went
there?
back to school. I got accepted. I got accepted to Harvard Graduate School of Education, and I went there and I worked on my master's in
You
education.
go, girl.
And then I began my teaching career in
Yeah.
Charlotte, North Carolina. I taught in Atlanta, Georgia. I came back to California and went to the school district where I started my substitute career, and that was in Moreno Valley School District. And I ended my public school career in Apple Valley School District
Uh-huh.
in 2020. And that's when I founded the Dorris Morrow Academy.
All right. And what do you guys do there at the academy?
So it is a school for parents who want to homeschool their children.
Got it.
That was very big during the pandemic. And so this year I've pivoted more to a learn at home model, and I will meet with the students once a week because this way I wanted to focus on some other aspects of education, consulting with schools and working with parent organizations to deliver some information to them. So,
Yeah, there are a lot of
and
people. There are a lot of people who want to go on to seek organizations like yours because maybe they're athletes, maybe they're going into the Olympics or they're doing other things. They're recording artists, so they need that at-home training. Are you available for that type of work?
yes, they can visit the school website, dlmacademy.org. Again, this year it's really going to be a full learn at home model, but I will meet with the students once a week virtually to make sure that they are keeping up with their studies and if they need some additional support.
And you were going to say something a little while ago, while I was saying
Yes,
something
I was
else.
going to say another thing that I began really focusing on
Uh-huh.
was the publishing company that I started after I published
Wow.
my book, Eight Pearls of Wisdom. And so this year, I am pleased to announce that I've helped 3 other authors self-publish their books. Um, and so, yes, that's a huge deal. And
Yeah.
also, I was able to combine the school, Dorris Morrow Academy, with the publishing company. 2 of my students, their project was to write a story. And so at the end, I published their book and it is on Amazon.
All right. So,
Because I think it's important for young people to start writing as well. And so they wrote a cute story. It's called Unique Heads. It's listed under Dorris Morrow Academy and their names. And they had an opportunity to take the book to a Black Writers on Tour conference where they were able to actually sign autographs and talk to people about their book. So, very excited about that.
all right, you're getting people in line, putting the pen to the paper. That's important. That's important.
Exactly, exactly. At a young age,
At a
because they
young
were 2 of my 6th graders.
Exactly. So, tell us about your book.
Yes.
What's it all about? What prompted you to write that book?
So my book is 8 Pearls of Wisdom, a parenting guide. Empowering children is the way to go. And it is all about giving parents some tips on how to keep their kids engaged, how to start planning early for their future. As a teacher and as an administrator, I taught high school and I was an administrator in high school for many years. And I would have parents ask me when their child got into 9th grade, what can I do to start preparing them? And my thought, I would not say this to them, was always, you actually should have started much earlier in elementary school
Yeah.
to start preparing them.
Mhm.
And so I would give them my tips, share strategies with them. And I was sharing this information with a group of parents. I was called by this organization to speak to the parents.
Uh-huh.
And I was sharing this information and it became a Q&A session. And I got back home and I spoke with my best friend and she said, you really should write a book. You should put all of the information that you've been sharing with parents into a book so you have a larger reach.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. I put that information into a book.
And that's volume 1. When is volume 2 coming out?
I am, as I get more information, I don't necessarily know if I'm going to write a volume 2. I think what I'm planning to do is add to this volume 1 and just do a second edition
Got it. I got
because
it.
it's adding on information. I don't necessarily have a lot of new information, but I have I have new information that goes with the same topics in this book. So I think what I want to do is a second edition and just give more information
Yeah.
because our parents need it. And I talk to them. They do need it.
Yeah. Give us one tip that's in the book. What you think parents should do in preparing youngsters for the future?
Actually, it is in my book. Thank you very much. And it was what I was going to talk about today. Goal setting.
Goal setting.
Setting goals, having children, yes, but having them set what's called SMART goals. These are goals that are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. And so, what I would do with students at the beginning of the school year, I did a thing where they would set goals with a vision board. So, I'm very much into vision boarding. And
Yeah.
so, I would have them do the vision board, and then we would begin to set their goals based on what they put on the vision board, saying what they wanted their life to be. So if a child put doctor on the vision board, well, what are some goals we need to hit in order for you to achieve that?
Yeah.
And something specific could be, they would say, I need to make good grades. What specifically, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I need something specific. I want to make all A's by the end of second semester. It's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's time bound. So it's not, in the future, I want to make all A's. We have a time
Yeah.
that we can attach to it.
And they know why they want to get those good grades because, there's going to be colleges and universities out there that are going to pay you to come to their school if you have good grades because you can represent them also. And they'll pay for your schooling.
Exactly.
They'll pay for your education.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And instead of waiting until they're in their senior year to decide this, they start working on it early. So that's something that I would recommend to parents as they're sending their children to school. Have them do a vision board. Have them start setting some SMART goals so that way the entire school year doesn't get away from them. And now it's the end of the school year and you're scrambling trying to raise these grades.
Yeah.
Start at the very beginning of school doing this.
Prepare before you get there. Give us a website and
exactly.
You got social media website that we can climb onto and check out more of what you're doing.
I do. I'm going to give you my Kim A. Morrow, www.kimaMorrow.com. That website will take you to the Dorris Morrow Academy, and it'll take you to CAMS Publishing. So it is a one-stop website.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, and you're always welcome to come back, right? Our house is your house.
Thank you.
And your house is our house, right?
Thank you for having me. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll come out there and pay you guys a visit.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. When it's sunny.
Yeah, there you go.
We're not having this rain.
Kimberly, thank you so much. Kimberly A.
Right.
Morrow, author, educator, executive director of Dorris Morrow Academy. We appreciate you. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. Our host, Kim and Arlene, Darren, Jaime, and Avena Valentin. You can check them out. All new episodes of Open coming your way. I'll see you next time. And always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. So say you can, and you will. Because it's all the power of the word. You will. I'll catch you another day, another way. Always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.